everybody. Thanks for joining us on today's electrified video. How you doing, right? We're talking about the BMW i8 today. And like a lot of people see these cars, they go, oh my God, that car is spectacular. But I have to tell you, underneath all of the outside beauty of this car is a pretty incredible piece of machinery. Knowing that these cars are 150,000 and up, right? They're mostly out of the reach of most people. This right here, because it's a few years old, so well taken care of, garaged at home, garaged at the places it's been, the interior is spectacular, is probably one of the best values we have had here in a really long time. So let's talk about that for a second. So when you think about this kind of car here, most people don't know the intricacies of it. They know, okay, maybe it's battery powered, maybe it's electric. How does it work? What happens if the battery dies? Well, the great thing about this is all of that's eliminated for you because you don't have to worry about whether it runs on just battery or runs on just the engine. The engine is back here. It also charges the battery as well. You can also charge the battery while it's at home in your garage, right? Let's say you wanted to just ride around town on battery power. You can do that, and it's pretty cool, man. It's actually got this great kind of whine engineered into it because first off, it would be too quiet. So the government has required these manufacturers of electric cars to actually make them make noise so that pedestrians can hear them, right? This is a pretty a sloped car. You know, you get hit from behind as a pedestrian, but this makes this cool whine going down the road. Plus, it's spectacular. And not to mention the doors, the colors, like all of everything they've got going on here, it is fabulous. And when you drive down the road, like, there's some cool cars in the showroom right now, some old school stuff here at the moment, but we have other showrooms and cars outside and things like that that are a lot more modern. So this definitely sticks out here. But I think once we get inside and once we see some of the features of it, you're going to go, wow, that's pretty cool. All right, so let's talk about a couple things. This is kind of cool. I love this. I could just stare at this for hours. Just the way it's whom, whom, whum, so as it's charging. Anyway, 20-inch wheels. All-wheel drive. A lot of people don't know that these cars are all-wheel drive. They make for great handling, great traction. Maybe you get stuck in some bad weather. It's awesome. We did put spacers on here to move these out a little bit just because it made it look so much more muscular. You can take those off if you don't like them. We added this stripe as well. This is removable too, all right? So again, a couple tasteful things done to the vehicle. Most of them are super easy. Actually, all of them are easy just to go back to the regular. The white with the blue. The white with the blue trim, to me, is probably the iconic vehicle when you talk about these cars. And then once we get inside, when you see that trim, those kinds of things kind of continue all the way through the flow in there. You'll be very... All right, cool. I want to show you what's wrapped up in the price and things like that of this car. So most of these panels here and here, the frame... Look at this. This is all carbon, which is so cool. When you open it up, you see all these great pieces. It looks so futuristic. You know what I love? I love the fact that this car probably will be stylish for the next 50 years. I mean, you look at it and you go, wow, this thing is not from this planet. And it is like, wow. All right, let's take a peek back here. This is not really the most room in the car. So like if you're saying, well, Tone, this seems a little bit small for my Louis Vuitton bags. Well, it's not for the Louis Vuitton bags, it's for the Louis Vuitton shoes, right? Red bottom shoes only go inside here. Anyway, this is a nice little place for a big overnight bag or just some stuff. But the great thing about it is most people don't know that these are four-seater cars. And so the back seat is typically used, first off, to lower the insurance rate on these. That's why they add back seats to sports cars, because then they're considered passenger cars and they get a different rating by the government, which in turn lowers the insurance down. Secondly, there's a ton of room back there to throw luggage, bags, a pet, the kids, whatever you want, and you can head on out in there and find lots more room that way. All right, so little stuff like this is what I talk about when people say to me all the time, wow, that's a great looking car, but you don't really know why it's a great looking car. Let's look, all right? Check out the blue stitching in the seats, right? The carbon here when people get up to the car, you go to the valet or whatever. This, one of my favorite touches, man. This belt that matches all this little blue trim around the car, and when we get inside there, you're going to get to see that as well. But I wanted to point out that the seats here, there's room back there. You can actually put people back in this car if you wanted to. I didn't even slide the seat nearly far enough, and I could still sit up there. People can go back there, luggage, when the pet's back there, whatever, but it makes for a very different car when you can haul some other stuff or people or whatever. All right, come on, join in here. Listen, Angie's just reminded me that I'm the one who's going to wreck the interior of this car, and I'm sorry for that. This is, I could close this door all the time. The great thing about it too is that they're supported, right? They're on shocks, and so it's like one finger to close the doors. It's not a lot of work. Anyway, the infotainment system, this blue ribbon that runs through here, blue stitching on the dash. Keep in mind that this has a full leather interior as well. We're talking about leather on the dash, leather on the console, seats, seat back, like all of this stuff is leather in here. The wheel is just great, and the dash lights up, tells you how far you can go on electric, tells you about fuel, tells you about all of these things. Climate control separate, heat and air conditioned seats. I mean, it is loaded with all of the modern features of today. We're doing a video in 2020, and this interior looks at home in 2020 just as it did in 2015. And I think that you can't go wrong. I mean, it's just a great car, especially driving down the road. So when you drive this car, you'll be very surprised. So at first, people are taken aback by the 3-cylinder engine, but keep in mind the 3-cylinder engine is turbocharged, makes a ton of power, and it combines with the electric motors as well. And the electric motors have so much torque, like they make all their power from 0 RPMs up, right? They make all their power right away, and this car is on it. Throw the all-wheel drive in, and you are going. All right, so we close up the video. And I just want to run down some of the reasons why you go, wow, that's a really great looking car. Let me just point out some. Pearl white paint, right? It looks like it's listed as white paint, but it's actually pearl white paint, so it gets this really great effect. The blue trim that's around the car, the 20-inch wheels, right? And we looked at the great interior. We're talking about all-wheel drive. We're talking about just piece after piece after piece of this car. It's so modern. It's so exotic. But I want to share this with you that I think that's pretty important. Is I think the depreciation of this car is kind of over. Like, I'm not really sure that this will ever be a $20,000 car. Like, this is great value. When you think about a new one being 140, 150, 160, whatever they may be right now, maybe 170 for all I know. And as exotic cars crest the $200,000 mark, this is an exotic car. It looks exotic, it acts the part, but it's not exotically priced, and that's why I love it so much. Anyway, call us, 301-816-1000. We'll tell you all about this BMW i8. If you don't mind, please share this with some friends. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel down below. And we'd love to hear maybe you know a little bit about this. Maybe you know somebody who worked at the factory. Maybe you went for a ride in one too, or maybe you have an opinion on electric hybrid combination. All right? Thumbs up if you don't mind, and thanks again for joining us.